everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've stopped by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do our 9th and final video for the alternatives for the July 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Sweeter With You. Here are the 8 cards that you could have made if you had done them as intended. And as you know, we don't do it as intended around here, so we're going to do some alternatives. So, the first one we're going to do is going to be an easy card, because, you know, why not start with easy, and then we'll get into the little more complicated one. So, I am going to start with a white card base that is 8.5 by 4.5 scored at, 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. Going to give it a nice burnish. And we're actually going to do a landscape card, so we're going to turn it this way so I don't forget. Here's our piece for the inside. It's 5 by 4 1/4. This was half of one of the card bases that the kit came with, and this is trimmed to 5 by 4 1/4, and it's just going to go on the very front of our card. So let's go ahead and get this down. So we will get this down just centered up, something like that. Okay, then I've got a piece that was one of the other card bases that I have cut down to, let's see, this is 4 1/4 by 3 3/4, and we're just going to put that flat across the front of our card. Okay, hang on, let's see. I got the, oh, there we go. Newfangled tape runner here. I got to figure out how it works. Okay, so I'll put this right in the middle, just like that. And then we've got this piece that was in the kit. This was just a punch-out piece. And we're going to put that right here. Just something like this. So this is going to be a resting place now for our strawberry. And we've got a little bow that I've made. It's kind of a double bow out of some red and white twine that I had in my stash. This was something that was from last Christmas, so I thought I might as well start using it up. I've got one little flower left that came in the kit, and this sentiment piece, which we are going to stamp in garden green, and this is the one that says hello friend. So this was part of the stamp kit that came in the kit. The stamp set came in the kit. So let's go ahead and get our garden green ink out here, and we'll do our stamping. So let's see, let's go ahead and ink this up really well. Looks pretty good. Okay, let's see if I can get this on here straight by any stretch of the imagination. So tedious to make sure you hit the thing. There we go. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to push that to the side while we stamp on the inside. And on the inside, I'm going to do the stamp that was in the kit that says Life is Sweeter With You. So we're going to ink this one up. And we're just going to put that right. Let's see. I like to line my card base up with one of the lines on the glass mat, so I maybe somewhat have a chance of it being straight. There we go. Okay, I'll put this ink away because we're done with that. Let's go ahead, before we build up our outside, let's go ahead and get our inside in glued down here. Okay, so we'll just put that right here. A little sticky of something there. Oops. Okay, well, there we go. All right, so there's our inside. Now, back to our outside. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put the strawberry flat along with the little flower. So we're going to put this like right here. And we'll put our little flower right like down here. And we're going to pop this up on dimensionals so we can give it some depth. I'll get some dimensionals on this. Okay, I'll get the backs off. Okay, so we're going to put this right about here. That looks good. Now, all we need to do is figure out where we're going to put our little bow. And I'm going to use a glue dot to put our bow down with. So let's get this on here. And we will put this, let's see, maybe right down, I don't know, should I put it up or down? I can't decide which I like better. I think up. I'm just going to put it right there. And then we will get it, there we go, out from behind our sentiment. See if we can straighten that out a bit. There we go. Okay, I'm going to trim this. This side looks okay, but I'm going to trim this one just a hair so it's not quite as long. There we go. So there's our Hello Friend card. Perfect. That wasn't too bad. Oh, we need some bling. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot the bling. I'm going to use the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. And I think we will do these clear ones down here. So I'm going to put a big one. Let's see. Where? I think I'll put it here. I'm going to take one of these little ones and put in the center of our flower here. And then we'll take another little one and put like up here. There we go. Now we're complete. It's not complete until you give it some bling, right? Okay, now let's move on to our second card. Okay, so we're going to be using our Real Red ink. And we've got a pile of stuff here. So, let's see. I've got a red card base. That's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Give it a good burnish. Inside piece 5 by 4 1/4. And then I've got a piece of black cardstock here. That is, let's see, it's 4 by 5 1/4. So that's going to be our first layer. So let's get our inside piece out of the way for now. And we'll go ahead and put our black layer down on our card. Just like this. Get that centered up. There we go. Okay, so that's our first layer. Our next layer is going to be a piece of white that is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, for this one we're going to need our cutter, is we are going to do some paper weaving. So, I'm going to take this piece of white and I'm going to make a cut at 3/4. So I'm going to put my white here at 3/4 and I'm going to get my cutting blade here. So we're going to start this out at 3/4 as well on this end. Okay, so I'm going to drop that down. And let's see, so this is 5, so I want to go 3/4 up from the bottom, so we're going to do 4 1/4. So I'm just going to slice down to 4 1/4. Okay, and then I'm going to move this over to 1 1/2, and we're going to make the same cut. We're going to start at 3/4 of an inch up here, And we're going to go down to 4 1/4. Okay. And then the next cut is at 2 1/4. And same deal, 3/4 of an inch down to 4 1/4 at the bottom. Okay. One more cut at 3. Okay, now this one gets a little more difficult, so we're going to put it at 3 1/4 and take it down to 4 1/4. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got some area to work with for our paper weaving. So I've got these tiny little black strips here that are 1/8 of an inch by 4. Okay, and we're just going to take these and we're going to weave these through the cuts that we made. So I'm going to start here at the top, and I'm going to start over, go under, come back up here, and the last one will go down just like that. Okay, so we're just going to push it in like this, and then put it at the top, and we'll cut these side ones off here in a minute. So the next one we're going to start over, and that'll be something like this. Okay, next one's going to go under to start with. Okay, so we've got just like this, and we're gonna move these in a minute and make sure they're even down our card once we get all of our little black pieces in. So next one then, so we've got under, over, under. We're gonna go over with this one. Okay, so like that, and then the last one will be started under. And we'll get that through our last, oh my goodness, come on. It doesn't want to come back up the other side. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now let's go ahead and get these spaced the way we want them, evenly from top to bottom. So I put, you know, the top one all the way at the top, and the bottom one here is all the way at the bottom. And then we're going to just even out these other 3. Something like that. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to use liquid glue to do this with. So without trying to move too much, I'm just going to put some dots of glue right on the end pieces here. Not too much glue, so don't do what I did. There we go. So that one sticks, and then we'll do this one with just a small, this is a new glue thing, so it comes out pretty fast. I'll get that one stuck down. Okay, now let's flip it over. Ah, we lost that one. That's okay, because we can just even it back up this way. It looks the same on the back side. So again, I'm going to take these ones that are up and glue them down on the edges. This one. And then this last one here. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm going to rotate it around this way and make sure we're going to do these edges. Now my fingers are sticky. Everything wants to stick to my fingers. Oh my goodness. Alright, one more. There we go. Okay, now I think we have all the edges stuck down that way. Let's see what we got on the front. Those both are stuck down. Okay, perfect. Now, what we're going to do is, let me wipe my hands off here. We're going to take our scissors, and we're just going to, a little piece of something. I right there. Okay. We're going to take this and just trim off the edges here. Okay. And then our other side. And there we go. All right, get all our little black pieces here put in the garbage. All right, so now we've got, and I think this is our front, we're going to take this and we're going to put this down right here on our card. And you know what? I kind of think, hang on a second. Let's see if I can get this up. I think this would look better. And I bet I can't get it up now. Oh my goodness. I think we needed it. Oh, it's okay. We could have done it. We could have made it so that these came up and so this looked just like that, but it's fine. We can do it this way. That's what crafting is all about, right? You pivot when something doesn't go the way you think it should, but it's going to be fine when we're done with it. It's all going to look just beautiful. So let's get some glue on here and we'll get this down just like this. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to do it, which way? Maybe like this. This is fine. Because I'm going to try to just kind of put our focal point over here to not make that so obvious. Okay, so we've got a bow that I made out of this black and, what is this? Black and Very Vanilla checkered. So we've got a big bow here. And we've got a black circle that was cut out of the add-on dies. So this is the circle here that came with the add-on dies. And I've got hello that was cut out of the add-on dies as well. So here's that die. And we're just going to put that in the middle here. And then I think I'm just going to move this up here. So see, now if we do that, it doesn't really look like I messed up the edges there. So let's do some fine tip glue on our hello. So I can get that down onto this black circle. So we'll do dots around here. I love these like really thin die cuts for the words, but they kind of are a pain in the neck to get the glue on without getting the glue everywhere. But I just love the way they look. Oops, now let me see if I can get it picked up here. Okay, so I'm just going to center that best I can on our little black piece here, on our black circle. Just hang on to it for a second till the glue takes hold. Okay, perfect. All right, what else? Now, I'm going to set that aside. Now, so I want to pop this up on dimensionals. So we'll grab these back in here and get these put on here. And we're going to do one more on this side over here. And get the backs off. Now, I'm going to just put this. Actually, I'm not going to put it down yet. I'm going to put our bow down first. So let's, and I want this bow to be kind of big because it's part of the focal point here. So let's get a glue dot. And I'm going to take your pick tool and I'm just going to roll this glue dot off here. And get that put, which way do I like our bow here? I'm going to put it, let's see, I guess it doesn't matter. We're just going to put it right in the middle there. And I'm going to put this down, because this is going to go on top of it. So something like this. So I'm going to put it kind of right like there. Okay, and we can adjust our loops here, and we'll trim some of this excess off down here in just a second. So let me get this back. We're going to put this now right here. So we're still covering up our edge that I didn't like. But now you can't really see it and never know it was there. So I guess it all worked out in the end, didn't it? So let me trim our little edges here. So I'm going to give that a good angled snip. Okay. Now, next is going to be, I have a berry that I made out of the add-on die set. Garden green, real red, and black for the back of it. And that's going to go right down here. So we're going to pop it up as well. I think that's an extra strawberry that I don't think we need. I don't think it goes with this card, which is fine. So we'll put this just right like down here. And then I've got some little flowers that I made out of the add-on dies. I've got 2 white and 1 in real red. And we will get these down. I kind of think I was supposed to have a second red one. Interesting. That's okay. We'll make it work. So I'm going to put this up here. Just like that. And we'll put one of the white ones down here on our strawberry. And then the other white one we will put where? I don't know where it's going to look best. Maybe like right down here. If I can get it. There we go. Stick to the card and not to my fingers. All right, now last thing we need is to do our inside, and we need bling. I thought I had a piece for the inside. Did I not? I do. Right here it is. Okay. Let's make sure this is, yeah. Okay. So we've got our hello on the outside. On the inside, I'm going to do the same sentiment we used on the last one. I'm going to do the life is sweeter with you. But since we stamped that in green ink a minute ago, I'm just going to give my stamp a good cleaning here on my chamois, because I don't want to get green in my red ink pad. So I'm going to open this one up, and we're just going to ink up our stamp. I'm going to line this up on the mat, and we're going to get this down just like that. Perfect. Put the ink pad away. We'll get this down on the inside, and then the last thing we'll need is bling. So wasn't too bad. The worst part is the paper weaving, and that just takes a little practice to get it right, because as you see, I didn't do it really the way I should have, but it worked out in the end, so it's okay. And nobody will ever know, right? The person that gets this card is never going to know, ever. So just remember that when you're doing your paper crafts, mistakes are only reasons to, do more embellishing. So let me find my, take your big tool, it's right here. So on this one, I think, I don't know, which do we want to use? The white ones aren't really going to show on this, so let's just do these light ones here in the middle. I think this will be okay. So we're going to get a little one to put in the middle of our white flowers. And then we'll put, I guess, a little one in the middle of our red flower. Just like that. And there you have it. So cute. Okay. So here are 2 cards that we made today. Both of them very cute. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and make sure you do the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a video. And we are going to move on now to the August paper pumpkin kit, and I will be back soon with the first video for that. And that's all I got for today, so have a crafty day. Bye.